Hey everybody, we got another weekend of Casa here, and you know, something happened, so the name's gonna change. But that's fine. So just if you don't see Casa start showing up, it's cool, because it's just gonna be a different name, and I'll be advertising the same way I did last time. But without further, I mean, we're like 15 minutes late because I got mixed by social media, but we're about to start. We have everything nice and ready. And we have the same commentators as like we always do because they're so gracious to give us their Saturday. We have Mr. Annual and Doggy Sandwich here, and they're going to commentate today. And hopefully they're here 2 weeks from now when we do this again. But yeah, we're going to go get it started. So whenever y'all want to take over, y'all ready.
Whenever we want to. So no, we could just leave this in your hands. That's what you're saying?
I mean, if you want to. You want to fucking ruin other people's times, yes.
Oh, wow.
You know, he might just want to, man. So maybe you should.
Yeah, classic Doggy.
But yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm always having a good time. Everybody else will be having a good time.
Okay. If you whatever you say, man.
I mean, well, welcome to another week of the Casa. Or the last week of the Casa.
Casa de Granblue gonna rebrand, revamp, and rename itself in the weeks coming. But that's for talk a little later on down the road. Just like Painbot said, just like Coach is alluding to, we've still got some Casa here. And starting off, we're gonna have Nexinitus squaring off against the first Casa de Granblue winner, EdGoneBad, Charlotta, and Matera.
All right, so yeah, we're not a stranger to Charlotta. Arsenal used them in the last two, but we got a new Charlotta on deck. Nexinitus, who usually playing Sam's show, but he's been playing a lot of time in this game. He's a big fan of Charlotta, so we'll see what his take is on EdGoneBad Matera.
Yeah. And right now, just get an introduction to what a lot of this matchup is going to be. Short, tiny, the mighty midget Charlotta just struggling to find her way in against Matera, who controls pretty much the entire screen. And Ed showing his dominance with a pretty solid lead. Damn near has a perfect. And even though he's in the corner, he's able to get his push, find the universal overhead, and find the first round very easily.
Yeah, I think he's kind of giving Nexinitus a run for his money, because Nexinitus is probably just expecting like the hardcore zoning, but Ed is wanting to not rest on one specific tactic.
Well, you can't blame him for that, because I mean, Matera for the most part has an entire kit. All right, like, she does have the good zoning. That's what everybody knows her for. But with her assault, with her unique jump, that gives her a lot of flexibility to actually attack when she wants to. And we're gonna have to see that here, because while we were doing the introduction in round 2, this has been a completely different take. Is now Nexinitus is the one that has the life lead, but he's over there getting melted in the corner. 2 butterflies on top of him. Stays away from the first one, but yeah, the second one in the dome piece, not enough to take him out just yet. Holy ladder off the mark. And he tries to find the 5C. No good, as he gets gunned down by Ed's own 5C. And that's the first game going over to the right side.
That's after like a really strong start too, but I think he still got a little anxious to close it out, and Ed just picked him apart.
Yeah, anxious is a pretty good way to describe him right now, because like the first round, Nexinitus was trying to slow play it, walk and block his way in. It didn't work. The second round, he started off with EX roll, and then the third, in the beginning of this round, first one of game 2, he's literally dashing in. So yeah, he's done with trying to slow play this.
Let me in.
Yeah, but he's constantly reaching in the pocket trying to see if he can find the right key. And now he's getting kicked out of the house, going coast to coast. 2 butterflies again, and I mean, the butterflies aren't the problem. It's just like them exclamation points. Somebody forgot to bring their helmet to work.
Brown ain't doing any work today, but yeah, I can see, because when you look at Nexinitus' offense, it's typically really his way in, and he wants his auto combo into special move, and I think I don't know if that's really enough to take down the EdGoneBad defense and overall game plan.
And I do have to point out, like, Nexinitus was running in the beginning of this, trying to roll in. He got that shut down. And then the one time he went to look for a jump, Ed read it, like didn't react, just straight up read it, had an arrow rain already going, and that's what eventually shoved him in the corner and let Ed just take control of the second game. So here we are, third game, and we did say we're doing first to threes, right?
Yeah.
All right.
This might be the last one, looking how things have gone so far.
And it's pretty rough. Good block on the Holy Ladder. Doesn't get a punish, so that's a chance for Nexinitus to get a little momentum started.
His momentum was ended by a drop combo.
It's very unfortunate for him. So now he's got to cross the trenches again, and Ed not making it easy for him at all. Wait a second. Didn't even block it. Not even worried about the chip. Swift dodge over to the side, and that's going to be the 5th straight round for Ed.
Yeah, he just ran the whole football field just to get to him. It didn't work out, but it was probably the boldest approach he's had all set.
This one's still looking very clean for Ed, getting his offensive started by stepping in and taking a 5A to interrupt Nexinitus' approach. And yeah, now he just gets to play whatever game he wants. Long range 5C and a high shot for yet another perfect in 6 straight rounds, 3 games for Ed. He says his name's gone bad, but he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, just on top of the neutral game is when Ed got him into the corner. There was a lot of, I guess there was very little blocking. As just to put it nicely, but
Block.
Yeah, so like even like you take away the overheads, he was getting hit by a lot of the staggers, the butterfly pressure, just pretty much anything. And usually his answer was jump or try to Holy Ladder out, and Ed gave him just enough rope to hang himself.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're just gonna move right on to the next match. Gonna try to see how many of these we can fit in, since yes, we have shifted to a first to 3 format, trying to get a couple more bodies on stream. I guess more specifically, more matches, because Paintbot's always been pretty good to get literally everybody in the event on stream. So don't need to fluff it up too much more, because even while I'm talking, I'm really just filling air before we get the next game. Bloo switching to the Vegeta, going against Terrence and his Catalina.
Yeah, Bloo, he's one of those guys who mostly, for the most part, when he plays a game, he wants the guy on the box, and so I guess he's switched to a variation of the guy on the box.
It's just technically on the box. He's on the box enough. So pretty similar concept, and with what Vegeta represents, seeing as she's one of the 2 new characters, I actually like the idea of her in this matchup. Like, Grand isn't bad against Catalina, I believe, but what Vegeta gets is she gets a variety of projectiles. So whenever they play neutral, that gives her more of a footing to play against Catalina. Now, when she's locked in the corner, none of that matters at all. Yeah, none of that matters at all. But if Blue's ever able to keep his footing mid-screen, he'll be able to stand up a little better than he would with Grand.
So he was putting the fireballs out, and he decides to go in, and he managed to catch Terrence sleeping enough to press his advantage, but he backs up, takes the space. And neither of them really seem to go to the fireball game, like as far as like the mid-range and beyond.
All right. Terrence finding his way in, but doesn't get the full Oki that he wants, runs a little too far. He catches him on the other side, stepping in again. That's the second time that Terrence has gotten like a far knockdown out of his range and tried to run jacked up in his face before he pressed the button, and Blue's just not letting him have that. You've got to be careful with that though, because seeing as that is a Catalina, that's just giving her a really good reason to hit like a far C, far B, something of that nature.
Okay, Blue lands the big jump in, but messes up his combo, and Terrence. Yeah,
really unfortunate he had the 2B, but it was far too spaced, so he dropped his skybound, and this is a chance that Blue needs, gets the confirm from the counter hit overhead, and we went up.
All right, so Blue manages to make that big opportunity to get to the next round. And yeah, Terrence, yeah, you see him. He's just trying to kind of force a control in the mid screen. You see him going a lot to the thrust rather than the fireball and slow play. He wants to just trying to force something on his opponent.
Now, Blue got his way out because he remembers what was happening in the first round, which is Terrence really likes throwing in the corner. Try to see if he can get a second scoop. Terrence not having anything to do with that. DP hops out of the corner, takes that control. Where we going? Again, trying to dash a little too far, and Blue still not complying, pressing the buttons, keeping him in check. A little bit of foot.
Now, I guess we'll see if that comes into play later. Because, yeah, Blue has shown he's perfectly willing to put that button in to defend his space.
Terrence with a good reaction was waiting for the roll. Doesn't get the full confirm. Doesn't knock him down. That's the most important thing. So Blue still able to keep his footing for now in the dangerous territory because everybody's got the super skybound. Doesn't get the chain down to the 2A. So it's a huge opportunity going. Still got 37 seconds to play with, though.
Nah, yeah, game slows down. And Terrence gets the hit, but he put a fireball behind it. He wasn't ready for the
block. Check again. Yo, yes, knows that it's a little too far for that to be real. Or just called out the fact that he wasn't using EX fireball as well. It's gonna go ahead and take the first game clean out of his hand.
Terrence gets him to the corner pretty fast, and Blue's jump cements the corner trap.
Going back to the throws. Yeah, bust out. Let me out of here.
Not shy about using those options at all, but Terrence gets the throw and gets him right back in there.
He tried the 2A, got his legs skewered by an overhead. Jeez. And I mean, that's the kind of thing you would expect out of Terrence at some point because, again, throughout the first game, he was just really heavy on doing throws. So once he's established that Blue is thinking about it or, like, really put it on his mind, that's the next thing you go to. It's like, look for the overhead. Paid off for him there, but now he's got to work his way out of the corner. He does. Nice little thrust to go back to mid-screen.
You know, punish from Terrence. You know, Blue getting a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah. Still manages to squeak his way out of the corner. Gets the whip punish because Terrence was a little too early, trying to catch him running in. Oh, but he gets a jump, and he got deep enough to make sure to get the full confirm. This is the round.
Yeah, Blue's probably feeling that one because he typically doesn't go for throws. He doesn't go for his most of the time he's gonna go down for his 2A.
Right.
And try to pressure from that. So that was one of the rare times he went for a throw, and Terrence just went ahead and jumped in the air.
And I want to say that's like the second time he's looked for a throw and it hasn't panned out for him, right? That's what it feels like.
Yeah, he's definitely a big fan of the medium.
Well, you can't do him right now. Terrence is putting all sorts of traffic in his face. Keeping Rain 0 in check. Doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely playing a slower mid game now and trying to keep Blue at bay.
Slides in, gets a couple of counter hits. I'm pretty sure he wanted that to actually chain, so he could have confirmed that, but didn't pan out for him. Gets the Vorpal slashes. Steps in, takes it the late throw tech, but he missed his dash. Pretty sure he wanted his dash, or at least he was looking for like another 2B to come out so he can counter poke it, but has him down in the chip range and a 2B.
Battle 2, engage.
Yeah, both players have kind of gotten conservative over the matches.
You say conservative, they're actually playing neutral. Actually having a fireball war. And Blue getting the space with the DP. Had enough of that, wants to push the issue. Gets met with a 5A. Still in there though.
Yeah, I like how Blue's been using the record as to kind of constantly punish Terrence for trying to push forward too hard.
It's pretty good. So like the thing about Vegeta's that's different from Grand's is that the B version is actually safe, right? So you have to be really sure about which one she's throwing out. She can cover both of them with the second hit, the follow-up hit, which is highly punishable, but it's always got to be on your mind if she's willing to do it or not. which we haven't really seen that scenario pan out, but it's just an implied threat.
Three, engage.
And yeah, we see Blue go down to the throw one last time. I think Terrence has seen that Blue has an alert in his head if he stands too close.
All right.
He wants to throw.
I don't know how sharp he is with his offense works against it either. More specifically, trying to do one against the universal overhead. You know, like planking and getting your 5A out. But we'll see how that pans out. Taking a tick throw. Tick overhead, but yeah, Terrence, you can say he's asleep at the wheel, even though he blocked the overhead. Wasn't really thinking too much about the throw. So he gets out again. Staggered, 2Bs. And the EX fireball. We're coming in. Nah, get off of me.
Nah, I'm coming back in.
But it's really unfortunate that he didn't get the confirm all the way down from the jump in. That's clearly going to come back and bite him because that was the round right there. Terrence gets another chance, missed the fireball, DP off the mark, and now he's scrambling a little bit.
Yeah, Terrence rushed to back off, misses the DP whiff.
So I was thinking that Terrence really believed the fireball itself was going to take the round, and it didn't. I'm surprised that Blue wasn't able to dodge it, but that gave Terrence just a chance to find a 5A, go into the thrust, and one way or the other, that was going to be the end of the round right there when he made contact.
So we've seen a lot of Blues like using this DP for like defensive purposes, but we haven't seen like DPs or the 2H or anything in fact for anti-airs.
Right.
While we've seen Terrence get quite a bit of damage off Blue from the scene.
Oh, something to pay attention to. Like the 2 times he did the records over in the corner, those were the B records, and you saw Terrence trying to check against it. He can't punish those. And it's kind of interesting to see Terrence try to look at those because from what we've seen, like you and me personally, seeing against him playing Joel, he struggled to even really deal with Grand's air slash, which is straight up punishable. But now he's trying to fish for something that he literally cannot punish. Case in point.
Yep. And it's like at the very least Blue is keyed on to some degree.
Has a pretty good lead. Terrence trying to run out of there. Couldn't really do anything, so Terrence eventually breaks out of jail, and now it's his time to play. Ooh, I was kind of iffy about the big cross-up, but it worked out. Didn't get to confirm in the super because he got the meter there at the end. He could have just took that and pretty much put it in a one-guess scenario, but now he has to see if he can catch Blue again, who's going to go back to the fireball game for a bit. Now, it's one thing that Blue didn't believe that it was going to hit, but he had set Terrence up for that. Since Terrence was constantly looking for that, that's the other end of it. Is if you see somebody constantly poking at it, you throw the DP out there. But that's in the past. This is the present, and Terrence has currently got his confirm and got himself around and is threatening to finally get on the board.
Battle 3, engage.
Go one up. I guess who's back again. Good old universal overhead, jumps to the backside. And I wonder what he countered. I wonder if by jumping over he flipped Blue's inputs right there.
That's actually possible, yeah. I want to say he was in a crouching state when he got hit. So yeah, he might have been trying to DP out and then messed up.
Blue's not deterred. Trying to go with the EX flashes, but got caught out of his offense. He gets his overhead. Here we go. Full inputs? Nah, man. Should have just took the easy one.
Hey, man. You're trying to learn out here.
Yeah, that's gonna cost him. So the funny thing about Vegeta's her Rondo, whatever you want to call it, is you can mash the next button, right? So it's like AA, BB, CC, some other stuff. I don't feel like going through the whole thing. You can actually just mash the button, but you can't mash them all. So you have to know the order, but you don't have to know the specific timing. So that's something for people to really keep in mind. And I say that because that super makes me think of Risei's Rhythm Heaven super from P4U. That one, you could literally just mash all the buttons and it would work. So it's like same idea, different subtleties behind them.
Okay. Hopefully, Blue can take that one into the future.
Charlotte versus Beelzebub.
All right, we're just gonna roll into the next one.
Yo, we just slapping matches up here.
So we got Nexinitus right back up, and Kryloz up here with his Beelzebub. So we saw Nexinitus didn't do too hot versus Matera, so we're gonna see how he does versus Beelzebub.
One, engage.
Depending on how Kryloz plays this could be a different kind of the same problem for Nexinitus. Because where Beelzebub doesn't have as diverse of zoning as Matera does, he can cover the same angles. And he can cover them in the ways with having the fly wall that is nigh impossible for Charlotta to clear. And just forcing her to still slow down and have to work her way in bit by bit.
All right, well, Nexinitus has finally got the corner push he wants. So it's a matter of Kryloz's defense, which he gets a throw into the corner.
Yeah, burned a lot of cooldowns, but he was able to get the back throw like you said, but didn't matter too much as he's not able to contain the beast known as Nexinitus. Finds his way in with some strategies, misses a super, so this is a chance for Kryloz to still make something of this round. 2B in the cloak, doesn't get to confirm, but he gets his space. That's what he really needs right now, because he still has a super. Like, if he calls a good hit, that's the end of it. Auto combo's not going to be it. Gets his face again, and this
That should have been it. But again, yeah, he held on to a little too long, got chipped out. But yeah, both players dropping the critical super combo.
Hate to see it happen. A little bit of the spaghetti.
Yeah, working that neutral jump versus Charlotta's options. It keeps a lot of her options in check, generally, at the expense of giving her the ability to just move in and she catches you.
That was a huge opportunity that was missed by Kryloz. So he gets the knockdown on Nexinitus, and that was after he used the X Holy Ladder. So that was the green light to go in, which is why he used a shadow move, I think it is. He used the teleport, right? But he gets there too late, or he mistimed his button, and he got slapped out of his offense by a stray 5A. He's still able to keep things controlled. Gets the skybound. What's happening for the Yoke? He's just jumping over the A ladder.
I think he expected that to be the close light.
Alright.
Being the far light, so he didn't get his auto combo.
It'd be like that sometimes. Here we are in the crunch time again. But this time, Nexinitus has the meter to work with, finds the ladder, noble strategies, staying in the front and then closing out with a 5C to clip Kryloz as he tried to leave the scene of the crime.
And that's after just blocking the holy ladders. He just missed his punish.
Yeah, he hasn't been having the cleanest input so far, but Nexinitus ain't complaining about that at all. He's perfectly cool with it. Yo, he's in it again.
Yeah, that's a very relentless approach. And yeah, like the EdGoneBad set, he showed us you gotta kind of be relentless about keeping him out and covering the spaces he wants to enter, because he's not one to be deterred.
Like, Carlos has had the right ideas. Like, you see him like actively doing anti-airs against jump-ins and stuff like that. You see him trying to stop dashes. It's not crisp. He's slow. He's off the mark, and that's what's giving Nexinitus the opportunity to get in time and time again.
Yeah, the actual ideas are definitely not bad, but yeah, if you can't keep up with the pace of how Nexinitus is trying to get in, he can get snowballed really quickly. But he seems to be in control right now.
Had a 2C, but since he used his Karma cooldown earlier, didn't get the full confirm from it. And there it is. Yeah, Karma getting hopped over. Combo being dropped. We'll just call it an American reset. But we missed a link. That's a big miss right there.
It's a big miss for the punish too.
Yeah, man. Spaghetti tasting kind of good right now.
He's just gonna let it rip. And luckily, he was far enough away. He didn't get the animation. He might have did the simple version as well.
But guess who's back again next to Nice? Looking for the chip, can't find it, but the ladder on deck. And that was the actual ladder input. That wasn't a cooldown. So he was making sure to hold on to his charge.
All right, 2 up for Nexinitus. And yeah, that's Beelzebub dive is a little less effective versus a character like Charlotta. Outside of movement purposes, because he's been using it a lot to get out of the corner.
Right. Sweeping the cloak. Sweeping the cloak again. This time getting the cloak to hit so he gets more space. And yeah, I think that was another time where he's looking for the dive and he just missed the input. But it's still working out for him. That not so much. And that's something that he's kind of autopiloted a few times. Getting some various hits and automatically looking for the karma to try to drag him in there.
Yeah, another mispunish.
Yeah, Nexinitus is in a pretty good spot right now. All he needs is contact with anything. Takes the light roll in to a tagging up the toes and getting another round.
Yeah, I think like all these rounds usually start the same. Kryloz like nickels and dimes with the Chaos Caliber, just flies on him. And Nexinitus keeps coming in, and there's eventually a slip up. But he hasn't had one so far.
He hasn't, yeah, there it is right there. It was looking pretty good because, yeah, he didn't really let Nexinitus into the range where he can, like, roll into range 0 or anything. But the second he thought he was going to go to the air and he tried to jump up with him, that's what allowed Nexinitus to slip in one time. But once wasn't enough. Not at all. As Kryloz had a really good round there. That's pretty much textbook for what you want in this matchup if you're playing Beelzebub.
Punish on the whole ladder whiff. And yeah, the Nexinitus' pressure tends to be auto combo, positive special. And he doesn't really present the throw like at all.
I can't even remember a time that he's thrown so far. Also hasn't done any staggers as well. Just trying to see how long he can stay positive, which is gonna have to get him, see if he can do it again. 5C, not doing too much, but he gets the EX roll. And that's another thing to think about. Since he's doing an auto combo and taking the B slashes, there is a gap in there that can be attacked. You know, you can throw some invincibility in between there and interrupt it. Like I did see Kryloz try to dodge it a couple times, which doesn't work. But he gets the karma, pulls him in, gets a back throw, I presume. Yeah.
Finally on the board.
He made it, man.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Game 4. Yo, yeah!
That man, he walked through the door, went in the fridge, made himself a sandwich at somebody else's house.
Oh, man. Used all the condiments with it, too.
All right. Back throw.
Nah.
Yeah. Nexinitus will exercise his invincibility.
Now we're taking the aerial approach over there with the Beelzebub, just trying to see if we can make some threats with a dive. Full charge flies. Okay. Got the hit that he needed, but now we're back in the scramble. Got caught with the strategies to the backside, and another close 5C to close this out for Nexinitus. One round away. Let's see if he can get a game. Now he's got to go through the obstacle course again.
And to Nexinitus' credit, he does not get discouraged from all the hits, like, because he knows that if he gets what he wants, he gets what he wants. As such.
Over there living up to the name of the Tiny Terror. Here we go again. B slashes. Those are my frames, not yours. Get your hands off your buttons. 2C, Holy Ladder.
Yeah, he's been checking that dive a lot better in recent games.
Let me out of here. Dumping all the meter, all the cooldowns, and he ain't going down without a fight. And he knows he ain't taking this into the next game, so better use them all while they hot. And he tried to literally use every cooldown known to man, but the last one was the one that Nexinitus was waiting for. Pumped the brakes on the field and cleaned him up 3-1.
Yeah, so yeah, Nexinitus mostly basically had control. They're like, Kryloz definitely had his moments, but he couldn't weather the entire storm, unfortunately for him.
It's like the rounds where he was able to keep Nexinitus like far, far away, like to the point of where he didn't have to consider jumping or didn't want to consider jumping to try to anti-air him. That's where Kryloz looked really good. But when Nexinitus got in the range to where he could threaten with a roll, that's where things started to fall apart, because at the least that's where Kryloz was really thinking to neutral jump, and that's where he starts giving up momentum. Any closer, it turns into a scramble.
All right, so next up we got Terrence and EdGoneBad.
Ooh, and this is the match that Painbot was looking for. Speaking of looking for Painbot, while we got a second, get in here and show real quick, man. Oh, he's over there typing. Well, I was trying to get in here and have him talk a little bit about his Matcherino, because we still run a Matcherino, even though we're gonna be changing our brand in the up and coming weeks. So if you hit exclamation point Matcherino in the chat, you'll see 2 links pop up where you can look below the Twitch chat in the details. Click either one of the links. We're doing Granblue right now. We would gladly take any donations for both of them though. But hop over the Matcherino, log in with your social media of choice, enter the coupon code PBGB2, and you will create 50 cents to add to the pot. It's not your money. It's not your money. It is literally coming from thin air and going to wind up in somebody's PayPal. We would be oh so grateful if you would give us a little bit of your time and a contribution to add to the cause.
Believe in victory.
All right, so now we got Terrence versus EdGoneBad, and historically speaking, it seems like Terrence hasn't been doing too hot here. And if you look at the character archetypes, you see this is probably the type of character that Catalina doesn't want to fight against. And Terrence himself just kind of, as a history, has problems with characters that operate outside of mid-range very well.
One thing that does work out for Catalina, though, is that if she ever finds Matera in the corner and gets a knockdown, she has some things that she can do that is just like, it's hell on earth for Matera. Terrence is looking to immediately go to level 2 for the throw mix-up, expecting Ed to try to respect the tick throw or fall for a tick throw. Go for a universal overhead, didn't really work out.
I respected Ed, just ran right into his face, stopped, put out a butterfly, and didn't get any retaliation.
That had to have been an input error, but we take those. Yeah, this is the thing that's obnoxious for Catalina, trying to work her way through the gunfire, got clipped with a 5A, put on her back, and eventually tagged up with another overhead.
All right, Terrence managed to hit the mark. We got the corner, but nah, we got a double jump.
Well, that's the second time we went for the lunge, though. 2 for 2 in this round.
Like, I guess he sees the 3 for 3, but yeah, it looks like he sees the moments when Ed lets down his guard and wants to move up. So hopefully he can contain him in the corner, but nah. It looks like Ed has been in the corner long enough to see when stuff isn't real or not.
Right. I mean, he's been so good for getting out of the corner. Like the first time he got put in the corner in the beginning of this round, he realized that Terrence didn't have the time to run in and put a meaty on him, not a good one at least. So he just double jumped out. The next few times that happened, he just hunkered down and waited for the pressure to pass over, because that's one of the things that's just akin to this game. Even if you get somebody knocked down in the corner and you have like a lot of plus frames, there's not too much you can really do to them, right? Like, somebody just has to be willing to get hit by something.
So it's like Ed has the corner this time, so we'll see if he fares a little better than Terrence's. Oh, yo! If you jump from the unique, if you jump off from the unique, okay.
Assault law, so good. Then dancing around the good old projectile 5C to keep the run in check, keep the street safe. Yo, he ain't getting stabbed no more. Got enough of that.
Backing up to get that space, very subtle.
And the thing that's really good about that is it's one thing that he's looking for the space, but he's so sharp with what button he uses where. Because like the second Terrence gets anywhere near the 5A range, you see him automatically switch to it, and he hit the tip of it to start things off. Gave him a huge reward as he gets to put a lot of pressure on Terrence, get chipped, gets a hit, doesn't get the full combo from it, but just leaves him set up for another chance to rain from above with another overhead, and that's another game going to Ed, almost like the first one. Yeah, we going quick fast over there, man.
Yeah, Terrence hasn't found a strong answer yet. I mean, he got a nice jump in, but yeah, it seems like he's just fishing for the lunges, and I wouldn't say they've been unsuccessful, but ultimately he's never been able to capitalize on the reward he gets after the corner flip. Just like this is usually the story: is Ed will endure long enough to see the hole in the pressure, and he'll put an arrow in and shove Terrence right back out of the corner.
Ed did like 2 good moves to first get him some space and get him a little bit of damage, and then a second one to get him out of the corner right there. Like his corner defense is really strong against Terrence. Finds another second hit from a unique A. Gets confirmed all the way down, and even with the animation, this isn't going to be enough, but it's going to leave Terrence in a pretty terrible spot, to say the least.
That's one stagger.
But he's staying alive for now. Just got tagged by overhead. Not enough to take him out just yet. So he gets a chance, but yeah, he's going to have to catch it. Gambare.
I don't know if he was specifically looking for Terrence's feet and he wasn't there, but it still came out really good because he went under Terrence's jump like at the right timing.
Right. Got all the answers, man. Ed gone good.
All right, out of the corner and gets a...
It was so unfortunate because Terrence saw that. Like, he was in the spacing for it. Ed went ahead and committed to it a little early, but Terrence just wasn't in the right place for the 2C he wanted. DP would have been better. Hindsight's 2020, but and then he goes to the DP later. And what's really bad about that was the EX DP. I think that was a cooldown EX DP as well. So he's not getting a chance to get it back. It's a back throw. And this is the chance that he needed. What can he do with it? Staggers. Ed's not worried about it at all. Finds the 2A.
Yeah, that's the thing about staggers. If the opponent knows the button to put out there, which Ed seems to have throughout this whole set, it's not working out too well. Like so.
Yeah, Go ahead.
I was like, yeah, it's not like he's always using the fast option. Like he usually sees like where the opponent has enough space and time to do. He put out some like you saw the arrow he put out there.
Yeah, he was really paying attention to the range, like especially since Terrence wasn't using any specials or anything behind it. There was no real threat at that range, right? Like, what overhead is she going to do from that range? Nothing. So she's going to have to run it at some point. And Ed was looking basically for him to for Terrence to run over the tripwire. That's where the 2-way came out the first time. Got him pushed back a little bit, and Ed took the space with it as well. And then the second time, he was just sitting there waiting to let the 5C rip.
All right, so I think we got Ed back on again, and then we got Kryloz coming up.
Yo, what we waiting for? Where the game's at?
I'm not sure.
Leaving the people over here cooking as we try to cycle through first to 3 after first to 3. Trying to see how many matches we have. How many matches have we had on stream so far? Like 4, 5?
Yeah, I think going by our schedule, this is the 5th one. So yeah, the first to 3 format, and plus we've had a few one-sided affairs, so it's been going pretty quick.
Yeah.
Believe in victory.
All right, here we go.
Yo, did you scoot closer to your TV or something?
I might have. Let me back up.
Yeah, that was I was blaring over this.
Yeah, I was just asking for you and me, but I'm checking out, but I'm backing up. But anyways, the more important people here.
It's Ed again, looking at a different character, still has a strong defense. Just woke up with the 5A to get some space. Oh no, that's pain bottles.
Yeah.
No. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like it couldn't be me actually, because I turned my music off in all my fighting games.
Fair enough.
It's like, you know, I thought about that just now. But anyways, looks like you got that settled, I think. But anyway.
We're gonna have to yell at him in a second. We ain't worried about him like you trying to say. We got Super Sabah trying to bury somebody. Not enough damage though.
All right, goes for the meaty karma. Hell, he gets hit by the versus after all that work.
See, the funny thing about that is, like, that's the kind of thing where a lot of people, a lot of Beelzebubs, I'm assuming they would expect that, but Kryloz's autopilot is to do karma, and he has to do something afterwards. So there was no other choice for him. He was getting hit by that super.
All right, looks like Ed is taking control of neutral this go around. Got the corner push.
Taking a tick from the butterflies.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of success today from those, from the butterfly pressure for sure.
Gets it again and gets the B overhead with it. Jeez.
He definitely knows his stuff. All right, one on the board for EdGoneBad, looking like he's gonna be the champ again after after Real Ice took his spot last time.
Yeah, he's on fire this week and don't see anybody who can really stand in his way. Kryloz switch characters? Is that why we back over here? Let's see. Where is Painbot? I need this man to like move his mic. I'm hitting him up in the chat. Send him angry caps lock messages.
Believe in victory.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the echo, but we're gonna roll into the next match. So we got Percival. Have we had a Percival?
Because Bates hasn't been playing him, right?
Yeah, Bates played Beelzebub in the one week he played. So yeah, we haven't had a Percival in the Casa.
And I feel like with the way this round is going, we really haven't had a Percival. We just had a DP so far. Only thing he's really been able to do, gets a fire charge, but doesn't really get to do anything with it as he gets caught with the late overhead. And that's going to be the first round of game 2 quickly going over to Ed. Ah, yes, that's one of the unfortunate things about Percival, especially when you're starting off, is like if you try to go on the offensive and you immediately look for the command dash low. I forget the names of the moves, but if you look for the command dash low, you don't get a knockdown. It's also not plus, so you're just aggravating somebody at that point. And
look for his opportunity to build charges, right?
Yeah, like if you have to fight without it, that's not the move you're looking for. That's not the hit you're looking for, because it's a Sam Show button at that point. It's the end of your turn, and that's where everything just flipped over in this. Like Kryloz came out the gate screaming in round 2 with the jump, and he eventually hits the command low, right? Ed just says 5A. Now I get to play again.
All right, well, he starts out with a couple charges.
It took 2 of them. Took the B charge, so he has a little more to play with. So has to use them though, because he was trying to buffer the low again, but he didn't use it for the first one. Uses the charge DP, gets a command throw, good old unique, and get some more charges to save for a rainy day.
See how he uses them. Right now, Ed has the positional advantage, but that DP has been doing a lot of work for him.
It's a pretty good DP. I can't remember if it's 7-frame DP as well, but it covers so much space, just about as much space as the 5T does. Jeez.
Battle 2. Engage.
Right, sliding under the jump in, getting the corner push, but hey.
And you can see his agenda with that right there, because he got hit standing, and was still looking to DP afterwards. So that's like his MO when he's on his back. Just let it rip.
Just let on die swinging.
It's been panning out for him so far in this round. He's able to keep his footing against Ed. Has him in the corner as well. Staggers into the sweep. Steps up and takes the unique command throw, but he missed it confirmed from it. That's catastrophic, especially when he misses a DP behind it as well. Uses skill button, so he's not going to have it for this. Goes to the super.
So I still got invincibility. And he manages to get a hit Ed.
Yeah, it tried to dodge it. I forget the exact response you're supposed to have. I think you're supposed to roll it, if I remember correctly. Is one of the super sabans that you have to know the specific response to. And because Ed had the wrong one, that was the break that he needed. Got himself back up to his feet, eventually uses the universal overhead, and yo, this Percival, this might be the answer. This might be the truth.
It's looking like it. He finally gets a game on the board. It's like the players took a moment to relax, and we're gonna roll back in there.
He also finally got Painbot to mute his freaking mic. I just had to say that real quick. Unique hop again, but guess who's back on the defensive? It's a good old flaming DP, piping hot. And
He's always kind of going for the EX, and so this is inevitable what's gonna happen.
Right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why Ed is getting hit by a lot of them off of his on his offense is he's either missing his safe jumps, which he hit that one there, or he's just not entirely expecting Kryloz to be so persistent about it. But every time he goes to the EXDP and he misses, that's one guaranteed offensive for Ed, and that's really all he needed to seal that out.
Yeah. Like whatever the reason was happening before, he clearly wasn't having it this game, and Kryloz still his own fate basically.
He needed the adjustment. He needed time to adjust.
Oh well, he has some more matches.
And that's 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
All right.
All right, so next match should be Bloo versus Nexinitus. So if Blue sticking with Jita, we'll get Jita versus oh man, I blanked out.
Charlotta.
Jita versus Charlotta, yeah. One of those days.
I could really imagine this being a fielder's choice kind of match.
Both these guys really like moving forward.
Right.
So it should definitely be interesting, and neither of them really show strong anti-air tendencies. Nexinitus will probably be on the better end of that for sure. If he's specifically waiting and seeing something like, the Beelzebub dive, and he typically responds to that. But typically, like, the Twitch reactions aren't really there for that kind of thing, and so both these players tend to try to go in, get their positive frames, and see how fast they can make the opponent crumple. So, with these similar game plans and these characters, there's no telling how this was going to go.
Yeah, when I was saying it was a choice, I should have been more specific. I was thinking about whether Blue was going to play Grant or Vegeta. I'm going to try Vegeta out. Yeah, just what I was trying to piece together in my head. I was like, I can see you having a pretty good reason to play either or against Charlotta. Like, they both have a reasonable, the reasonable same range that they would have against Charlotta, so that doesn't mean too much. Grand would wind up closer by default at times, so he'd have to deal with ladder more, but it's not to the point of really being a problem.
So it looks like Nexinitus doesn't know he can actually put a button on that. Well, I guess he does now. Because it was interesting that Blue was able to use that as a frame trap.
Big 5C from downtown. Yo, man, strolled up in there. And then he wanted to do some jump.
That was awfully bold.
possibly looking to see if he can bait out a throw. Because, I mean, if there was a whiff throw there, that would have been, like, monstrous for him. But
He gets to this time. But yeah, that was one of those moments where you just know, like, whether the opponent, whether they intended to do it or not, they just had such mastery of what was happening. That's the only way you could do stuff like that.
right. And I like the choice there, using the EX slash to close it out. Because it wasn't a hit, it was chip. But yeah, there was nowhere for Charlotta to go at that point. It would have had to have been EX DP, but that would have been really enough to keep her alive at that point. Speaking of DPs, don't want anything to do with overheads. And he caught him pressing the button afterwards. Is the ladder coming out right here? Because he's going to be on his back.
All right, well, he had the safe jump ready.
Right, right. It's 2A. Gets the chain, hits the links. I guess I should use the right word since I'm one that cries about it all the time. It's looking crispy over there.
Okay, Blue was pretty brave to swing, but I'm not sure what Nexinitus was looking for with the jump. Maybe he just wanted to get him spooked.
And he was ready for the throw tech there. Stepping away to the second one, just wasn't too sure if there was going to be a confirm there, but eventually picks him up. Gets the DP as well. In a side order of 5B to go.
And yeah, Nexinitus has had enough.
Excalibur.
All right, so now he's gonna have to fight down. So Blue's still sitting on his super, and that's the interesting thing about this game, is that your opponent to do as such.
Oh, but he didn't have the range for it, or he mistimed it, either or. Nexinitus was ready. He didn't take his hands off the wheels.
Battle 2, engage.
All right, well, that's 2 cooldowns in the drain.
Yeah, but one of the important ones over there in the corner isn't gone just yet, the EX slashes, so he's able to use that to get a big confirm. Caught Blue trying to escape the corner. Doesn't get the knockdown that it is.
He got out. It hurt a little bit, but he got out.
Lives to see another day. Yeah, he can't really stray too far because of that. Like, I would have liked Blue to stay closer just so he wouldn't have gave Nexinitus the confidence to try to like take the space with the strategies, but went a little too far, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm. We're all tied up now.
Bruh. Ready, fight, records. Let's go. About that life.
Ready, fight, reckless.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Yeah, Blue's trying to calm it down a little bit. Going more towards his buffer pokes and fireballs.
Yeah, the various different types of the Vegeta. It's one of the things I actually liked about this game. One of the things I like that they pointed out is that she does have so many varieties of timing she can have between her 2 fireballs and the fact that she can charge them. So, like, if you kind of struggle against that, one of the mission modes is just to dodge her fireballs. It's kind of hard, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
That makes sense for how they built it.
It looks like Nexinitus is in a position where he doesn't have to really dodge too many more, find his way over the 5B, doesn't get the deep enough hit to take the round just yet, so he's gonna have to see if he can survive. Scrambling, trading back and forth, and the chip from the records. I don't remember if you can jail, so it's impossible for the finishing hit to take the round. But either way, because it was a chip from there, that means there was a gap for him. I can't remember if he still had his ladder.
He had his ladder. Cause he used only the regular one. I think he did the skill version. But in any case.
Bro, my man woke up and got the mop out. Hit the sweep. Does he sweep again? This one from a more reasonable position. Now you staying down there. Ooh! Sure strike. That seems to be like one of Nexinitus' big MOs. is to look for the EX slashes. Make sure he gets a plus rank, like EX or the B slashes, right? Immediately look for the universal overhead because he's done that a few times in ranges that have been really questionable. Baits out the Super Sabah, but he didn't wait till he didn't get a full confirm from it. Just leaves Blue with a chance to stay alive, blocks the overhead.
It's interesting he didn't go for a chip there.
Yeah. He's trying to find it again, doesn't get it the first one, but the second one, not even chip. Caught him pressing a button.
Battle 3, engage.
Yeah. And neither of these guys typically, like you see Blue use safe jump, but typically neither one of them are going for the safe jump. They're going for some kind of just plain meaty pressure. And so the reversal rates they have against them are fairly high, I think, even across all the sets we've had today.
Doesn't have the range for the Wreckers. Guess I have to call them the Reckless again. I'm going to find some way to fit that in. That's a little too good. Ooh, big punish. Doesn't take his super, though. Looking forward to try to interrupt, but he's over, so that's the end of the round for Blue. Good looks from Nexinitus. Squeaking away from another Super Sabah, this time waiting to make sure he gets all the damage that he deserves.
Battle 1, engage.
All right, Nexinitus got one game to go.
Oh, he's learning from that rock, paper, scissors. He's getting acquainted to how Blue likes to, how he likes to play the game. Because he opens up with the Wreckers again, and Blue doesn't press anything. He's waiting for like a holy ladder or something like that. Nexinitus steps up and throws him immediately. And even though the throw wasn't successful, that's just showing he's paying attention and learning from what's being presented to him.
Yeah, he's put the button on him there. So yeah, I can see that. He's definitely not just waiting for something to happen anymore.
EX roll gets to the backside of the Wreckers, but doesn't get a full confirm.
Yeah, there's that throw again.
Get off. Yo, he's just having a slugfest over here, back and forth. Not getting full combos, just trading the bees. Did he find this one?
Yeah, he hasn't had such a high success rate with his reversal supers today.
Nah.
Battle 2, engage.
Can't see past the all-knowing eye of Nexinitus.
And so yeah, this match is kind of going like I said, both players just kind of mad charging at each other. But the way with Nexinitus is using the demon flip. I don't remember the in-game name for it, but the way he's been using that, he's just been going over a lot of Blue stuff, and he hasn't really adjusted to it.
Just because I have to be a nerd, it's noble strategies.
All right then.
Yeah, man. And the strategy is to get in there and hit all the buttons. Working pretty good for Nexinitus so far. Taking the A slashes that time, but nothing really doing because with as many times he's been using the B, he's allowed to do that every now and then.
Finish.
All right, Whiff punishes him and wins game 3.
Was he really with punishing though? Are we sure he wasn't just doing that again?
I mean, Vegeta stuck out the foot and got bopped. The screen don't lie.
I look forward to our next.
So it's 3-1 for Nexinitus over Blue. And our next match will be Terrence versus Nexinitus. So we'll see the Charlotta again.
Yeah, I just looked over at the stream schedule and bruh, it's 10 matches. We gonna make it, but like, bruh, that's 10 matches.
Yeah, I guess the new format definitely allows us to get a lot more in. And we rolling into the next one.
Rolling.
Charlotte.
Listen to some old man tunes.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I'm trying to think about how this one's gonna go because I feel like if Terrence knows Charlotta punishes, it might go pretty quick for him. But if he's unfamiliar with Charlotta, it might go the other way.
He doesn't specifically have to know punishes in my mind. It's just more of coaxing Nexinitus to hang himself time and time, watching him fall off ladders, and just having solid punishes for that. Now, if he gets hit by Nexinitus' offense, then yeah, he's gonna have to figure out a way to stop him. So there's a couple different ways this could go, but this could be very easy for Terrence if he's just able to weather the storm, represent threats in the right places, and just be ready when opportunity presents itself. But right now, that's not the case at all, as he got rolled up over there in the corner.
Battle 2, engage.
Okay, that was a pretty interesting roll from Nexinitus. Got the advantage. Started pushing Terrence back a little bit.
Gets the neutral jump over the throw, hits the link, walks him over to the corner, but isn't ready for the jump. Yo, the hit stop on that.
Now we got more holy ladders where that came from, Terrence.
And he's making sure to use the A1 so he can keep him in check, you know? Keep him on deck, ready to roll. Case in point. Like, he's actually using it as a neutral tool.
Yeah, it's been pretty successful, so.
Nexinitus is literally just a time bomb over there, waiting to explode, and Terrence has no clue how to defuse it.
Yeah, I think this is like just based on how Charlotta has that explosive momentum, especially at that range. There's a degree of where you kind of got to let her have it a little.
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah. Let her have her space, see where the bomb wants to go off, pull out the defusal kit, and save the day with a 2B. Long range runs, but hey, guess who's here? We've been holding on to this the entire day. Broke the glass and used the emergency ladder. But because it was the EX ladder, that means he didn't have one for the storm that is coming.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage while he waited for that cooldown.
All right. But he's lucky that Terrence missed time to throw.
I wonder if that's the first time he used the low follow for that. I feel like I've never seen it so far.
He's been using it very, very sparingly, like maybe 1 out of 10 times. It's not really on his mind. He really likes the plus frames from taking the dive. Every once in a while he'll use the throw, but like the low, it's there. It's just very underrepresented in his kit.
Okay. Nexinitus misses him in the air, puts him in the corner. I was about to say maybe he gave Terrence a little too much space, but he managed to come back in with the jump.
Yeah, it was all a ruse. He was setting them up.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. That's the kind of thing I was talking about. Just waiting for Nexinitus to try to climb the ladder and making sure to meet him on the way down.
What do you think he tried to do?
He tried to dodge it, which, yeah, you have to be very accurate if you're going to dodge the super specifically. So it's really unfortunate for Terrence. Very fortunate for Nexinitus. That was the key that he needed to get his first round. Oh, he was ready for it. Yeah, just on top of him like a rabid dog. Terrence trying the DP to find the light, but nah, he's probably not going to make it back to his feet. Shouldn't have been. There should have been a super there, but still gets another chance. Nothing he can really do. There is a gap big enough for Terrence to fall into.
Yeah, I'm surprised through all of that. He did try to put out the DP just to see what would happen.
But he did. Like the one time he did, Nexinitus was on the other side of him. I'm surprised he didn't go to it again.
Fair. All right, Nexinitus starting out with a big corner push.
Hey, he feels so confident right now. That DP's not going to mean too much to him.
Nah.
The H might though.
All right, well, he put 2 cooldowns in the bucket and didn't get anything up from him.
But the thing he's getting is like, look at how Terrence is playing now. Like, again, this is one of the rare things we see out of Terrence in any game where he's backpedaling a lot. And it's to the point of where Nexinitus threw a couple of buttons out there that Terrence actually could have punished if he was settled and ready. But he's so hell-bent on trying to get really, really far away from Nexinitus and into a range where Nexinitus has to come forward, right?
Yeah.
But he just can't reclaim that space.
Yeah, he doesn't want a mud fight with Charlotta, but he doesn't want to try to give her too much space, and it ends up, like you said, working out in Nexinitus' favor.
Big EX roll, getting the counter hit. He mistimed whatever he was thinking with the 2C, because I was thinking that he just really missed the meaty, but he could have been trying to fake right there. Still not the worst case. Backs up and finds the counter hit. Missed the auto combo though. Still okay.
Yeah, it goes into the follow-up throw from the noble strategies.
Yeah, he's just running wild right now.
Right. So yeah, this is like the alternate scenario I was thinking of. Is like, did agree that Nexinitus is allowed to put stuff on the table with Charlotta and how he can respond to it. And if he doesn't have those responses,
bro, this is a kid in the theme park over there. He's just doing whatever he wants. He's having the time of his life. Look at him. He's rolling in there. Maybe. I mean, it was a different kind of roll, but it was roll nonetheless.
and that was interesting. Just at the basis of Terrence had the life lead there, but he was the one who was frightened.
I'm pretty sure if I asked Terrence, he would say the only way this character could get any more scary is if she had a V-trigger for some reason. Tries to use the super all for nod as Nexinitus was holding down back, gets another punish, and he is one round away from taking this game. And Terrence has hit a couple of those anti-air 5As, counter hit 5As, and got his lunge and got his space. But again, like, with the way this match is going, the space hasn't mattered to Terrence. He hasn't really been taking it. He's just trying to hold on to his footing, which is uncharacteristic for him. But that's how he feels he has to try to dispatch Nexinitus. It's working out so far. Oh no.
Yeah, this is not good. Go for a reset.
And now the stagger is coming out.
And yeah, Terrence has been pretty reliant on that cross-up to get out of the corner because Nexinitus generally does respond to it. Just so happens it was EX only ladder waiting for him at the time.
The regular ladder there, gets the roll for the chip, so he puts him down on one hit. Doesn't even need to get the chip. Caught Terrence trying to walk himself out of a corner. And with the tiny terror, Nexinitus takes the set 3-1.
Some good stuff from Nexinitus. And yeah, Terrence, I think he looked a little bit lost, and Nexinitus just ate him up.
A little.
All right, so that was Terrence. What's up?
Nah, I was gonna make more jokes.
Oh man, so Bloo versus EdGoneBad. So EdGoneBad is looking like our MVP so far. So I'm not envisioning Bloo having a good enough set of tools, not so much as his character, but as a player to deal with the way Ed plays.
I could agree with that, yeah.
So we'll see if he can bring out some surprises.
It's gonna be Bloo versus Kryloz.
What?
Because the Bloo played EdGoneBad off stream before I told everyone to not do it. So
oh my god.
So
get your tournament in check.
this thing's going by so fast.
All right, so Bloo versus Kryloz. So I think this should be more of an evenish match as far as like the player skill. It just depends on how familiar they are with the other characters.
That don't matter at all. They getting in there and they doing the moves. That's what's happening.
All right, so give a few minutes for Kryloz to come up. But if you just joined us and you haven't been seeing some of these matches, they'll be up on Pain Box YouTube. You can see down on the link below as a VOD. And as you see in the chat, Pain Box posted the Matcherino, so you can go in to Matcherino, log in with your social media, and if you input the code for either the game, Granblue or Sam Show, you can add 50 cents from the pot, not from your own money, but from Matcherino itself, and you can help the players get a little more pay in their pocket. So appreciate if y'all click on the link. But Now we about to roll into our match.
So, I'm convinced that the first thing that Blue is gonna do is he gonna hit this B record. Now, my question is, what is Kryloz doing? What card is he playing out of his hand? I forget what his openers look like. He's gonna backdash.
You gonna backdash? I'm just blindly guessing, man.
That's fair.
we'll see where we go. Looks like we might have some technical difficulties.
That man was AFK. That ruined everything.
I guess they're gonna just. Are they playing it out?
Yeah, he was AFK. They're doing the honor thing. Give me my one hit back because that changes the entire world.
Okay. So, all right. Well, now that we're getting started. Sorry, I can't get my bearings. All right.
Online tournaments, man.
DP Karma's in back in. Auto combos in the cape, but
It's the Kryloz flowchart, if you will. Anytime he gets a knockdown that knocks him away, cloak, field, he's always looking to do Karma afterward. EX Karma. He gets the command throw super though, so it's pretty good for him. Not enough to take the round just yet, but putting Blue in a really bad scenario, just waiting around for him, hits the 2C, gets the first round. Pretty good start. Hey, there it is, the jump. Reverse super jump. That's the opener.
Yep. So Blue already put his EX on his fireball, so now he's just kind of wandering around, figuring out what he wants to do. But he has it back now, but he's in the corner.
He's taking a good amount of chip from full charge flies in the cloak as well. He did make it out of the corner, but doesn't matter too much. Not deterred. Gonna go all the way down the records. B records this time. C records next. Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
Good combo. He's almost hit the button anyway. I don't care. Yo, this super's over when I say it's over.
Oh man. It's round 3. Pretty slow start to the round 3. Actually, using fireballs, trying to block through fireballs. Didn't really work out too well for Kryloz. He finds himself off his back. How many cooldowns are coming? Which one's first? None of them? There it is. EX field.
Yeah, he went for a safe jump, but he crossed up and put himself in the corner, which is the situation we have now. But regardless, Poke in the record has been doing a lot of work for Blue.
It's really good. Like, I can't stress that enough. I have to double check this, but if I remember correctly, if you're going into the A record, there are a lot of buttons to where it will jail and you can't interrupt. But the A record itself is punishable. It's like -7 or 6 or 7, something like that. But the B records have a gap leading into them from any button, but you can't punish the record itself. Like, you're left in the mix of you get the plus frames afterwards, but it's a question of, is the Vegeta going to do the finisher, or is she going to catch you hesitating and retake her turn? So yeah, that's a really strong difference between herself and Grand. None of that matters when you're exploding in the sky, though.
Kryloz going on round 1. Yeah, it's got Blue by surprise with that teleport, because he hadn't swung or committed to anything, so he could have punished it.
That was clearly the last thing on his mind, but he's got to figure out a way out of the corner. And of course, DP matched him with the meter.
Yeah, like you said, he's typically going to use his Karma to pull him back in, and he got DP from the follow-up after a block.
I'd be willing to put a decent amount of money that he tried to throw him after the Karma. Still not deterred, finds his jump in. And Kryloz, yeah. Yeah, he here, man. We one up. Blue thinking about it? Blue thinking about going to the guy on the box? I really don't think he needs to for this. Like, I really think his Vegeta's perfectly fine for this. He just needs to polish up the fundamentals. Be more consistent. I mean, it's really easy for me to say I don't have the stick in my hand.
Sure, but I mean, it looks like he's gonna stick with Vegeta.
Bubs going down.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Game 3 records. Let's go. Oh,
Now we gonna get some space. We gonna play like good children should.
that was the BB tag start. Straight out of the Blue playbook. Super jump back.
What I want to know is
up?
what did Kryloz do to get hit like that? He was standing. There was no counter hit. He wasn't in the air. Is he just like standing there? Off a wake up? Sorry, this was a side. It just bothered me.
He might have been inputting a super and just, or not a super special and mistimed it. It's possible. This happened to him a couple times.
But in any case, Blue the corner. Blue managed to get around one.
Battle 2. Engage.
The Blue.
The Blue.
Hey, guess what's back? Rekka versus Super Jump in the beginning of the round. Still got the
what?
Still got the DPs.
Yeah.
All of them.
And yeah, this is DP follow up. Gets the throw into the corner, which is really good. Starts to pressure him. Ah, yeah. When you get a counter hit with the medium chaos caliber, you get the juggle, but he didn't really get the big combo from it.
Club. Ooh, overhead. That wasn't a punish.
Nope, he just moved.
Wait a second, Blue's bringing this back. Was looking for a field, nothing there. There's a dive, and yeah, the Cardinal's going to take it at that point. Unless Blue had it on his mind that he had to be DPing right there, anything would have did it because he was only on a pixel. Nowhere for him to go.
Alright, he's on his back. Uses the teleport to chase him back to the corner. Kryloz looking pretty good. Got the DP bait. Life is good right now for one of our players.
Gets all the time to think about what he wants to do. Yo, sick dodge! Breaks up the stagger person with the 2B as well. But hey, everybody put your hands in the air. Got command throws for you. 2 scoops.
Shout outs for 0 frame post flash.
I mean, it better be 0 after flash. you know the command throws that aren't like that are suspect.
Indeed, indeed. So it gives him like a really strong up close reversal. But Kryloz uses it to take the game 2. But that was definitely a good adjustment from Blue. And yeah, and I feel like oh wait, was that 3-1? I feel like like that
Those 2.
Yeah, okay. I guess he just came back to the lobby for whatever reason.
Taking a second to recollect his thoughts, get his head back in the game. All the other filler stuff that commentators are supposed to say here.
Nah, man, they just slowing shit down.
He might actually be switching to Grand, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot that you got to come this far to switch. That did not cross my mind. So, that may be the case.
Beelzebub versus Brad.
Yeah, we got the boy back.
That's why Painbot pays me the big bucks, man.
It is.
I'm really just trying to get him to get me some pizza.
Hey, man, one day.
Whenever I can get over to the Casa again, or whatever it's going to be called. Because, again, this is the last episode of Casa de Granblue, going to be rebranding in the future.
So, yeah, I'm sure Painbot will have like a cool... setup for y'all to show you the new brand and stuff. So we'll go for that. But in any case, we going to Grand. Switch it from Jita.
Man, I just thought of the great name. He could be the Pain Fellas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was an excellent 2H on the dive. Gets the corner push right at the start, but do an unfortunate event. Blue kicks himself into the corner.
You hate to see it happen. The boots give and the boots take the corners away from you sometimes, but DPs are still there nonetheless. He gets him to whip the 2C, and he wasn't really ready for it because a lot of times that Blue's been jumping in the set, he's just jumped into the 2C.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think that's gonna hit.
oh no!
He did the DP wrong. It wasn't gonna hit for the reasons I thought it was, because he did mess up the combo. But
Player 1 wins.
Blue is just over there mashing his EXDP.
yeah,
That's actually a lot of information to think about, though, because knowing that Blue is hitting a DP there, that means he's the kind of person to where, like, especially in a clutch situation like that, you can get a lot of damage by letting him do that to himself. It's not the most important thing to think about, but it's just something to keep in mind for a rainy day. EX Field to break up the string again.
all right. Kryloz hunkering down. Don't want to put his hand in something he can't get out of.
Yeah, man.
All right, dives out of the corner. Really good choice. Just gets ran right back into the other one.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that he got hit by an EX Fireball of all things right there. But he gets a sweep, gets a cloak as well, so this is kind of good. And yo, he finds himself running into another 2C. So the thing that's really interesting about this, right? Like, there might be a small difference between Gran and Vegeta's 2C hitboxes. I don't know if the speed is different. It might be. But Blue is much more active about looking for 2Cs. And he's hit like damn near every one he's thrown. I'm glad I prefaced it with damn near every, as he whiffed that one right there. But he's been finding a lot of them.
Yeah, he clearly saw the jump there, but yeah, he got baited by the dive. And I think, yeah, it might be like a confidence thing with his character, since he's able to focus on more of what he knows, that he can see stuff like that. As far as Vegeta, he's still processing. Yeah.
Got an EX Karma, and he missed that. There was a misspace boot that was met with a super neutral jump. Things are just falling off the rails for Kryloz right now as he's trying to hold on to his lead for dear life.
It's going now. And, okay, so
Threw a Hail Mary, but Blue didn't have the right answer, so that's the space that Kryloz needed. Still trying to work his way in and get one more hit and see if he can steal this away from him. But up in the air, guess who's meeting him? Not a 2C, but a DP. EX Rising Sword.
End of the skies. We can't let you slow us down.
so two up. And yeah, if Blue does not have a an answer for those supers, because the Beelzebub one's so slow that yeah, you can dodge them and just lay into him. But if you block him, he's generally safe.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
I wonder if that was a missed dive, but either way, he was gonna get popped.
Probably. You can like delay it enough to really throw the timing off of it, but the thing that really amazed me about that was the fact that he got the boot from it as well. Because it wasn't a counter hit. Unless I just completely missed that, but I was looking for the red flag. That one right there.
Okay, this is with the BB-8.
Oof. Waited long enough just to let Blue play his cards. Comes out with the counter of good old down back. Ticking from the close mid. Misses Link. It happens sometimes.
Yeah. So now he has Kryloz on the back foot.
Oh, really?
That was an interesting choice there, but it works out big for Kryloz.
He gets the DP as well, but it was just a regular DP, so Blue still has it if he needs it. Hasn't been using it just yet. Holds on. Gets a chance to play sweep into the fireball. Puts us at one apiece. Everybody's on match point.
Yep, last round.
slides, getting our first little carry over to the corner. He's looking for the 2C, but he was way too slow for that. If he was going to anti-air it, had to have been a DP. Reset, dodge too early, looking really good for Kryloz. Even with putting himself in the corner, this round is still his to lose at this point, but Blue's trying to see what he can make happen. Oh, and he changed the script a little bit there. Instead of trying to take a throw, like an obvious back throw into the corner at that point, looking for the H and couldn't get it, but still gets his space. Takes it over the top with the dive.
Okay. I was gonna say good dodge, but that was a DP waiting for him. So Kryloz takes it after a hard fought set, 3-2.
Yeah, that Grand was looking like the answer that Blue needed, but just couldn't piece everything together there at the end. That's some pretty good bursts. Had a lot of really good bursts. Had a lot of good anti-airs. That was one of the key things to really turn it around for him. But consistency is the name of the game. That is the name of the game.
So we got one more match on stream. That's Terrence and Kryloz. And we'll be done with Granblue for today.
You know, I always get hesitant to hear that. We'll be done with Granblue. We say that, and all of a sudden Painbot's going to pull up with a box of matches again.
All right, let me amend that. We are scheduled to be done with the Granblue after Terrence versus Kryloz.
Painbot's going to come in with 3 new competitors, restart everything. But even as I joke, bit more serious business is the fact that we still have some more matches, right? That means we can still donate to the Matcherino. You can too if you haven't done it yet. You can hit !Matcherino in the chat, or you can get the information from under the stream in the details. Click on both the links. I'm not even going to give you the choice. Click on both the links. Sam Show and Granblue, right? Go to the page, sign in with your favorite social media, and use the code PBGB2 to make 50 cents to force Matcherino to add 50 cents to the pot. This is not your 50 cents because you're not going to use your PayPal for this. You're going to use any other social media you want. You will have them create 50 cents to add to the pot and help contribute to the cost.
All right, so got the battle of the PlayStation colors. Uses the karma to absorb the fireball, pull in Terrence close enough.
The Arx's color that will not go away, black and blue crew, man. It's in all the games now.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be a bonus if you had PSN Plus or whatever originally. It gave it a standard color because that's why it's colored like that. So that's the PlayStation color. That's what I call it.
The more you know.
But in any case, Terrence getting work in that corner right now.
Yeah, just brazenly wanted to press a button after taking an EX dive. Got counter hit for it. But he's out of the corner trying to see if he can make some magic buttons. Just hammering away with the B. You go press a button.
Just knocking on that door. You gonna open.
Let me in.
He tried to persevere, but but his patience got the better of him.
Kryloz is really a changed man over there with his script. He's showing a different path of his flowchart right there. Because again, that's another time where back throw would have looked so good after the karma, but he went with the heavies. Didn't pan out for him at all. As he did. He did. But and that was one that was just it was a Catalina round. It was just really clean from Terrence.
Yeah, making use of that signature Catalina corner damage.
It feels like half the game though, man.
While it is true, Catalina is definitely a cut above, especially given how easy she can put you in corner combos from where she can put you in corner combos. It's definitely further than most characters.
That is true.
Percival.
Percival, yeah.
Catalina.
This man bringing back into DP. I mean, Percival.
It's a flaming hot DP. Get it right. He wanted to shave some frames off of invincibility just so he can throw it more. And you know that's what's coming. We don't even have to pretend like it.
1. Engage.
That was the command, man.
Yeah, it was a run, but it was still funny. But in any case.
Ah!
All right, so Kryloz, Madison pushed the game back in this screen, but he doesn't have enough fireball power for the lunges.
Ooh.
I did like the anti here. I think he meant to follow it up and he just kind of messed up.
Yeah. Solid. Like, he had every idea that the overhead was coming. Sad that he didn't really take any pressure from it. And, just one of the old mistakes that happened, one of the sad, fundamental slip-ups that happens is working on your up-down from a jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still serving them flaming hot DPs. Always.
Use that command dash, and I think the fact that it looks like the beginning of the DP causes people to freeze up. Like you saw Terrence there, he just dashed all the way into his face.
Okay. Yo, that man was strolling for a hot minute before he got hit by that universal overhead. Gee.
Yeah.
You old.
So 2-0 for Terrence. Yeah, Kryloz, he definitely has some bravery in his game.
As a fellow knight, I salute your courage.
Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking about. Just go ahead and serve him up again, hot and ready. Bring the DPs out. All right. That was a good 5C start. No, the tip of the lunge. Long range 2C as well. Tick throw from the 2A. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? So he's really trying to be brave out there. There it is.
Hey man, it's a time and place.
But it might be too late for all the chances that he just gave Terrence with that. Only has, well, I can't say a pixel to work with because he could take 2 specials, but I guess 3 specials. Maybe 2. I don't know if that's 2% or 1.
Yeah, he can at least take the next one will put him in the chip range. Yeah.
There we go. Hey.
Okay, Terrence. We see you, man. But I wonder, since that was actual chip damage, if he could actually put the DP on there. I couldn't remember if it was on cooldown or not.
I believe it was. He was walking around for a while, so there's no way it was. It's a new round, new life. Looking a lot different. Stepping into his face doesn't really get too much.
Yeah, Terrence typically goes for that that jump to you when he's put at disadvantage or put at advantage.
All right.
Especially when he's in the corner.
I just barely got the wall. You ready for this?
He pressed the L, but I didn't know if it was covered in time. It didn't.
Mistakes were made. But it's not the end of them just yet. Was he going? Yeah, he's wanting to go back in the 5C range, get some fire charges as well. So leave himself in a better position to try to see if he can bring this one back, because Terrence has all the tools he needs to close out this round, but Kryloz still has a reasonable shot in this. Needs to be careful trying to build up all the charges. He doesn't need to take too many, as if Terrence can call it right there, he can take a lot of space away from him, but going on the offensive and just stepping into a 2A, 2B.
So, yeah, that was definitely a little rougher for Terrence, but ends up being a 3-0. And unless there's some surprises from our tournament organizing, that should be the end of Granblue.
Yeah, that's it for Granblue for today. We're going to go ahead and take a small 15 to 20 minute break, and then we're going to come back with Samurai Showdown. So if y'all are watching and you want to watch Samurai Showdown, don't go anywhere, even though the stream's going to cut off for a second. But we will be back at 4 to 4:10, depending on if I can get everything ready quickly enough. But, yeah, everyone stand by.